ability to get promoted or to move up the corporate ladder is dependent on my ability to cosplay as an extrovert. Y'all, chill.
The revolution will not be televised, and be no rerun, brothers and sisters. The revolution will be live.
What's up, y'all, and welcome back to DEI Diaries with your host, EP. So, y'all, this episode and this series in general, just about work and the workplace, is going to be a little triggering. I know it's going to be a little triggering for me. I don't know about y'all, but go ahead, pause this video if you need to. Get you a drink, get you some juice, some water, whatever you need. Now, me personally, I have a little wine up in my mug now. Now, don't judge me because I have wine in a mug. But go ahead and get you a drink. Let's go ahead and take a drink now. Because, baby, I'm going to need it. I'm going to need that because talking about work, especially in a job market like this, where the job market is just going crazy. There's people who have been laid off. There's people who wanted to leave their jobs, but because of the job market, they can't anymore. Maybe it's just not a very wise choice to make right now, so they have to push through whatever type of work environment that they're exposed to. There are some people who left their jobs because of toxic work environments or just toxic work cultures in general. And that's really what inspired me to even start this series. So I think the best way to pop this off is really with a story time. So, okay, this was years ago, y'all, years and years ago. I had a coworker. She was a nice girl, very sweet. She wasn't one of those people who would start conversation. She would do her job and she did her job well, but she wasn't one of those people to typically always go to different happy hours or like social events the company would throw. However, if you needed her, she was right there. If you needed help with something, she was right there. But she just was not going to be one of those people to start unnecessary conversation. And I hate to say the word unnecessary conversation, but you know, those conversations where it's like, oh, what you do this weekend? When in reality, it's like we both know we probably don't really care like that. Or she wasn't one of those people like, oh, how's your dog? Like, it wasn't giving that. You know what I'm saying? But when it came to the actual work and the job, she did that very well. So the time rolled around for promotions and being able to go for different positions, such as like management positions. And she expressed to me that she wanted to go for that position. So I was like, girl, go ahead. Like you're going to do great. Like people love you. Girl, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Trying to give her some encouragement. So some time goes on and she ends up not getting the position. And she lets me know that the reason why, or some feedback that they gave her, was because they didn't believe that she was essentially a team player. And the reason why they didn't think she was a team player is because she wasn't very aggressive about making, you know, conversation and being at different social events that the company may have thrown. So that was the reason why she didn't get the position. And that kind of bothered me a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Because in my mind, it's like, it seems as if you are not willing to cosplay as an extrovert, then you may not do well in corporate America. I don't know. I think that isn't very inclusive at all. Because what do you mean my ability to get promoted or to move up the corporate ladder is dependent on my ability to cosplay as an extrovert? Y'all, chill. And mind you, this is coming from somebody like me who is fairly extroverted. I'm definitely more extroverted than introverted. So I know y'all are probably thinking like, EP, what does this have to do with DEI? And it has everything to do with DEI, okay? Everything. And the reason why it has everything to do with DEI is because we need a diverse pool of leadership styles. And we also need to be more inclusive within work cultures to people who are not extroverted, to people who aren't going to walk up to you and be like, hey, how's your dog? hey, how's this? How's that? Because that isn't a very good measuring scale of how good of a leader they'll be. And also consider this. Consider how much of a mental and physical and emotional toll it takes on a person to have to cosplay as an extrovert every single day. 5 days out of the 7 days of the week, because especially in America, we're at work more times or more often than not. So having to take on this personality type that isn't honoring who you really are can really contribute and lead towards burnout. I actually did my capstone or my senior project on this in college about the idea of burnout in the workplace. And one of the leading causes of burnout in the workplace was this idea of having to take on an identity that isn't your own. So what I'm not saying to go to work and to be completely closed off to people. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is we have to check our own bias. If we see somebody who is introverted, who is more reserved to themselves, and we immediately associate that with not being a team player, somebody who's standoffish, somebody who's rude, that may be more evidence about our bias rather than who they are as a person. And I am a very firm believer that when we do not check our own biases or even take the time to investigate if it is a bias, then it does lead to microaggressions. It does lead to dangerous and harmful assumptions about people that we want to work with. And in relation to burnout and adopting these personalities that may not be our own, it leads to us becoming a happy warrior. And what a happy warrior is somebody who has to be happy all of the time. And I see this especially in women and people of color, and especially in Black women. It's this idea that people expect for you to be happy and chipper and this and that all the time, because if you're not happy, any other emotion that you express, whether it's being indifferent or whether it's being neutral or reserved or introverted, people automatically take that as you being angry or standoffish or not a team player. And that also leads to microaggressions. If anything, that is a microaggression, and it leads to those comments that are really like, wow. So because I'm not smiling and chipper all the time, I'm angry? I'm upset? No. And it keeps those people out, and it isn't very inclusive to the people who want to be a part of the workforce, who want to be a part of the team, and who want to contribute their creative ideas to whatever type of project that they're doing. But because of those type of comments and concerns, it makes people feel excluded. And that's a part of diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have to think about different groups or subgroups that may not be like us. We have to think outside of ourselves to create healthier work environments. And this is really why DEI is so important, because we really want to create better work environments for the people that we have to work with. We don't want to just look at our careers and our jobs as something that we benefit from, when in reality, it's like, look, people have to come into this company when we're long gone. So it's best that we cultivate a specific type of work environment so that way all people from different backgrounds, socioeconomic statuses, races, religions, sexualities, genders, ages, anything that you could think of, personalities, disabilities, so that way we can all thrive within these environments, because it genuinely matters. And I really had to sit up for this because I'm very passionate about situations like this, because I want and I desire to cultivate healthier environments. And if I can help y'all create healthier environments wherever y'all may be, in the United States, outside of the United States, I do believe that it will contribute to a healthier society. So in conclusion of this diary entry, justice for the introverts. And I honestly might have to call this episode that. Justice for the introverts, because I know y'all be going through it. So if y'all have any stories or any thoughts and inputs. I would love to hear y'all stories down below in the comment section, whether you're introverted, extroverted, ambivert, whether you're new or divergent, and how that experiences have been for you within the workplace. I would love to hear more about that. But y'all, I love y'all so much, and I hope this conversation was a courageous conversation and a proactive conversation to help us just to go out into the world and treat people better. So until next time, I love y'all. Bye.
Subscribe.